Hello, this is Derek from How Do I Money. On this video, we're going to show how to fill out the debt snowball template that you downloaded in the first email. Let's get to it. So the instructions are fairly straightforward. You list all of your debts from smallest to largest. You pay the minimum on everything except for the smallest. Pay as much as you possibly can on the smallest debt until it's paid off. And then once it's paid off, you take all of the money that you were paying on that debt and you roll it into the now newest, smallest debt. And you just repeat that cycle until you're debt free. So this is the page where you should be able to type in all of your debts. You should be able to list them out, how much the balances are, the monthly payments. It should do an auto calculation down here to tell you how much debt you have in total and how much you're paying monthly over here. So I've filled in an example just to illustrate how the snowball works. Let's pretend like these are your debts. These are the balances listed from smallest to largest, and these are the monthly minimum payments. We're going to start with the minimums. And notice over here that this minimum is larger than this minimum. I made that up just to illustrate a point here. We don't care about what the minimums monthly payments are. We only care about the balance over here. So even though this one is bigger than this one, we still want to list them from smallest balance to largest balance. So these are all the minimums over here. And what we want to do, hopefully, is find some extra money that you can throw at this one. And so rather than 60 is the minimum that you should be paying, but we're going to throw some extra at it. And so let's say that you just find $40 extra in your budget. So now you can afford to spend $100 on this one. And you'll see that this went from 400 to 440. So now you're paying 440 total every month on all of your debts. And you'll also see that this 440 never changes, in this example at least, as the debt snowball plays out. So you're paying minimums on all of these. You're paying $100 on the smallest. So in 4 months, this one will be gone. So let's go ahead and pretend like it's been 4 months. This one's now gone. And you're no longer paying anything up here. That's 0. And that's 0. But you were paying 100, remember? So that 100 now snowballs into the next one. So you're now paying 140. 0, this one's gone. You're now paying 140. You're still paying 440 total every month. And your debt balance has been reflected down here as being lower than it was. So 140 a month, so a few months go by, and you've now paid off this next debt. So this next debt is now 0. You're no longer paying on this debt, so this is now 0, but we're going to take this 140 and we're going to put it down there. And I'm going to do that first, actually, this time. So that's going to be 240 that you're paying down here. 240. And this one's gone. So now you'll see this is still 440. This never changes. It's the idea here is that you roll each amount into the next debt, and that's the idea. That's why they call it a snowball, because it picks up speed. It gets bigger as it goes along. It collects, all the rest of the money as you go. So now you're paying 240 on this one, which is now the smallest loan that you've got. Still paying 200 down here. And several months go by. I should also point out that along the way, these two debts will be getting lower because you have been paying. I'm just not reflecting that here in this example. But as you go along, these will be getting smaller too. So that's good news. Now, it's been a year and a half, something like that. Nobody knows. You can't possibly do this math in your head. You've been paying $240 a month. This $8,000 is now gone. Hooray. And this 240 you can now roll down into the next loan. So this one will now be 440, which is our total because you've only got one debt left. So 440. And this is now 0. Still paying $440 a month, and now it's all going towards this last debt, your car loan. So now you could see how 440 into 9,000, you'd be going pretty fast now. That's why they call it a snowball. It gets bigger and it goes faster along the way. And I'm going to do a quick calculation on this one to see if it were still $9,000 divided by 440, that'd be 20 months. So you would be out of this car loan in less than 20 months, if that were the case. So you can see how when you were only paying, I think my original example was maybe $200. That would take about 4 years. But with the debt snowball method, once these are all cleaned up, you go faster and faster is the idea. The snowball gets bigger and bigger, and it rolls faster and faster as each debt is being paid off. So that's the idea behind the debt snowball. It's the most effective way to pay off your debts if you've got multiple debts. It helps you to stay organized. It just gives you a plan of attack. That way, all of your efforts are going in the same direction rather than trying to pay off all the debts randomly in random directions. So that's how the debt snowball works. Now this little ebook has a form here you can print if you want to fill it out by hand. If for some reason this is giving you trouble, or you just rather do it by hand and print it out, maybe hang it on your refrigerator or something like that, that would be wonderful. A different example down here. I didn't use these numbers, but this is just a different example of the debt snowball. Now, I've got some other resources. If you downloaded this little ebook, the debt snowball template, it comes with 5 emails that I'll be sending you. You should already know about that. I've told you about that in the thank you page and all that kind of stuff. But if you somehow skipped over that, you should be getting 5 emails. This is the first one. This video is in the first one. And the next one is titled, "That's a Good-Looking Debt Snowball You Got There." So look for that subject line in your email. It should come in 2 days, I believe. I've got some more resources in that email and the 3 or 4 emails that come after that will help you pay off your debt even faster. And then I want to draw your attention to 2 more resources. The Facebook group right here. The How Do I Money Facebook group is awesome. I really think you'll enjoy it. We've got monthly money challenges that we hold in the Facebook group only. So you've got to be in the Facebook group, and you can tell us how your debt snowball is going, ask any questions. We really like to see people post success stories in there too. We can cheer each other on that way. And if you're struggling with anything, post a question and we'd be glad to help. And of course, subscribe to the podcast. That's where my wife and I, Carrie, talk about money. We have a lot of fun on the podcast, and every now and then we learn something too. We kind of trick you into learning stuff. If you've got any questions, you can email me. Just reply to this email. It comes straight to me. Email me at derek@howdoimoney.com. And again, make sure that you read your emails, because there's some really useful tips in the following couple of emails that I'll be sending to you. Okay, good luck, and we'll see you in the next email, and hopefully we'll see you in the Facebook group. Bye-bye.